So, welcome to Film Juice with John and Mike, minus John.
What happened to John?
He's in purgatory. And so we have uh, my friends Justin. Hi, Justin.
Oh, that's me. Yes. Hello.
And Janet.
Or Janette.
It's Janet.
Fine.
So we're going to discuss, because it's Halloween times, a scary movie
Yeah.
called The Mist, which is, I think, well, now it's rated, but still kind of underrated. I think it's probably one of the better. It's personally my favorite Stephen King adaptation of any of his stuff. I've never read the actual novella, but Stephen King himself has gone on to say that he loved the changes that the writer and director Frank Darabont made to it. So basically, what happens in this movie? So there's like a mist that just mysteriously appears in this town.
I thought there was a storm first.
Oh, there was a storm first. You're right. Yeah, there was a storm first. And then they find, like, there's, like, a mist, and they're like, we never have mist here, really.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Aren't they, like, living in Oregon or something, right?
it's, I think, somewhere in Oregon.
I guess if you're on the coast, there's, like,
it's not too far from Portland.
That's true. Maybe they're, like, further in from the whole Portland area.
It's a bunch of hipsters that are so hip that they're not hipsters.
Yeah, they just normally are like that.
Yeah, they're just like that.
Even the old teacher had cat-eye glasses before everyone else did.
Arnim Zola?
Yes.
So yeah, we've got all these people. Everyone happens to be at the grocery store at the same time, freaking out because of the storm and all the damage it caused to their homes and property, whatever. So the Punisher takes Andre Brower to the grocery store with him because even though they hate each other, they're starting to bond a little bit. Be a little friendlier with each other, apparently. Like, there was a lawsuit.
Yeah, there was a
apparently.
Lawsuit, right? Like some lawsuit that we never knew about.
Yeah, something they don't really explain.
That's true. They never said it.
They never said what happened.
It's probably because he got sued because he didn't star in a movie of Carrie Elway's.
Oh, yes.
Glory, you know? That 1989 movie with Denzel Washington.
He was in Glory!
Yes. Fantastic movie. Anyways, going off track.
Yeah. Let's see. And so the Punisher takes him to the grocery store called Food House, which is a weird name for any store. And what's his name? The guy from The Walking Dead shows up. There's a lot of people from The Walking Dead in this because it's Frank Darabont, and he started the series.
Never got to read the comic or really even watch the show.
You never read The Walking Dead?
Oh, I hated it when it came out. Like, I was like, really, a zombie comic coming out? Remember, I was at Heroes and Fantasies at the time.
And the way they ended the comic actually was they put out like teasers of like the next 2 or 3 issues.
Yeah, it was
like the covers, and they just ended it. Like, those were like fakes, and they're like, well, this is the last issue.
Yeah.
There's no more issues coming after this one. No. And it ended beautifully. I really loved it.
There was like another issue that came, but it was like more of the villain, I guess. Negan?
The new Negan, yeah.
Yeah, Negan's return. I remember everyone was like hot shit for like the gold cover for that one. Like one per store.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we sold our copy for like $200.
Whoa!
I was like, okay.
That's kind of absurd. I don't think the comic book series overstayed its welcome. I think he said he wanted to get to 200 issues.
Yeah.
And he didn't. He got to 198, I think.
Yeah, he ended up kind of quickly, and that was kind of it. I mean, no one can compete
That was
with
fine. That's fine with
Spawn
me.
300 or whatever.
Yeah.
Even though that's a joke because, like, Todd McFarlane didn't even do half of them. Going off subject again, sorry.
But yeah, okay, so, yeah, Walking Dead stars are in the movie because, not because they were going to be in The Walking Dead, but Frank Darabont liked working with them, and so he took them with him to go work on The Walking Dead. And so they all end up in a grocery store, and the Mist, like, follows Dale from The Walking Dead, and he's like, "You gotta let me in. I don't know what's happening, but everyone's dying." So they let him in, and here comes the Mist. And we can't see through the mist. All we know is there's something in there. And then everyone immediately starts splitting into factions of, like, religion, logic, and practical. And apparently none of these are compatible with each other, so everyone ends up infighting. There's a lot of the whole, like, ideologies just fighting each other.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so you've got a lot of that, and then you've got, finally they get some, like, hard proof, like, Thomas Jane is like, "Alright, hang on, nobody go outside, nobody do anything, because we don't know what's going on." Andre Braugher, black guy, is like, "Well, I don't care, you're being stupid, and I'm a lawyer, so I know everything."
Since he's from New York.
He's from New York, he's a big-time lawyer.
Yes.
He's a smart guy from New York.
He's a
as
smart-
lawyer.
He's he's not, like, a horrible person, but he's an asshole.
Yeah,
But
he
he's
is
not
an
like
asshole.
it's not like you want him to die, kind of thing. He's just a guy, and he disagrees with everybody. But Thomas Jane takes everybody back, and he's like, "Yeah, we got to fix this generator." And the stupid, like, kid who I thought that actor was way older than he was. Wasn't he the pube guy in American Pie?
Yes, and also the guy that keeps stealing stuff and can't hardly
Yes, can hardly wait.
wait.
Yeah,
Which I was
I
like,
thought he was. I was like, what? How old is he?
He doesn't age,
well,
man.
Oh, he's immortal.
was this movie
Yes.
after all those teenage movies?
Oh, yeah.
Yep, it was
'Cause
way after.
he
Can't
always
hardly
play
wait,
like those.
Can't hardly eat.
Can
Can't hardly
Can hardly wait.
can't hardly wait was in, like, 97. American Pie was about 99,
This is 2007.
and this is 2007.
Well,
So, like, he does not change.
I know, but it made me sad because I'm like, finally he has, like, another type of role. Like, it's not a teenage movie.
He's not just like a nerd
but
or like a weirdo.
He still didn't last long as the character in the movie, so I was like, okay.
He died pretty quick. He was the first one.
Mhm.
Yeah, he was a bag boy. What do you expect?
Kill the bag boy first.
Yeah.
Um,
He had to be
that's
pretending
the-
to be tough, remember? He was like, "Oh, if these Hicks can do something, I could do it too. I don't like the voice of reason. I'm not listening to you, Mr. Punisher." I'm getting ahead of ourselves.
yeah.
Because you haven't talked about Toby Jones yet, like the coolest guy there.
Arnim Zola. It's not Toby Jones.
He's all he
Um,
eats.
It's all he is a face and the abdomen of a robot.
He always reminds me of Paul Williams, the singer.
What?
Look at Paul Williams real fast. Be like, Paul Williams and Toby Jones look similar.
Why'd you say face of an abdomen?
Because the
Oh.
character in Marvel Comics is like a video camera on as the head, and then it's a big robot body with Arnim Zola's face in it.
Well,
Yeah.
I kind of, when you said that, it just reminded me of, like, the Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Krang?
Yeah, it's like Krang. It's like Krang.
Right, that's what I thought of when you said abdomen.
It's exactly like Krang.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he would have been a better MODOK.
Me too. There's a lot of speculation that they're going to combine the two.
Nice.
So I'm okay with that because I mean, what really can you do with those? And he does look like that guy. So yeah, so he's like, what happens? Okay, Bag Boy gets sucked out of the room by the tentacles, and Hick, repairman, is like, I don't think you heard nothing, Tom Jane. And so they just, like, they go back there and they're like, we'll just fix the generator ourselves. Even though they're in Portland, they have Hick accents.
Right.
Well, there's country people out there.
I know.
I mean, the further east you go from Portland, the country it gets.
The less.
Yeah, more hickish. Well, it's the wastelands. What do you expect?
So yeah, they try to get the kids like, I'll do it. I'll go out there, and they open up like the
back door, right?
Yeah, the back door, the back
dock or whatever
thingy, whatever. And here comes some tentacles with spikes on them.
Not the Japanese kind, right?
It's not tentacle porn exactly. I mean, it could be, and we just didn't see it.
It happens.
Yeah, sometimes it happens. And it does grab it like his leg, and it starts like eating at him. And Thomas Jane is like, can somebody help me? And everyone waits like 5 minutes to jump in.
Those two Hicks.
Oh, they're awful.
They're like, we do what we want.
Because they immediately feel bad when he dies. Or, apparently dies. We don't know.
I really didn't. I was like, well, he was the idiot that wanted to go out there in the first place.
He was all cocky. And, that's his fault.
Exactly. I mean, you can only take the blame so much.
So, the thing takes him, and I was going to say Tom Holland. Thomas Jane, he's, like, covered in blood because the thing, like, ripped a part of his chest off. Not his chest, but the kid.
Yeah.
And, the 29-year-old kid.
Or was he really 39?
He might be 39. He might be just one of those ageless.
Let's figure it out.
And so they're like, we can't tell anybody what happened here. And they go in, they decide to tell everybody what happened. And then religious zealot lady comes out and starts preaching the Old Testament, saying that it's God's vengeance, and he sent all these creatures down, and whatever. I just wanted to punch her in the face.
I mean...
she has that face. Laurie Holden.
She's like that lady from Donnie Darko, that annoying, loud woman. Do you know what I'm talking about? I don't know. I don't remember her name, but she.
Nobody knows what Donnie Darko is.
Fine. Then look it up.
Only people that listen to The Cure know Donnie Darko.
Be quiet.
Yeah, The Cure and Mad World over and over again.
Oh, the church. You forgot the church.
Was there a church in there?
Yeah, Under the Milky Way Tonight. Hold on, Janette.
Are you talking about...
Okay, let's get back on track. Seriously.
So they take him, and he's the first death, and no one believes him. Even Andre Braugher's like, you can tell me you got like a plastic snake back there with cow's blood on it, and yeah, I don't believe you at all. I'm gonna go back to New York. I'm gonna file a lawsuit. It's like,
because that's what he does.
That's how he makes his money, I guess. I don't know. And they go back there, and they take, like, I guess it was a store manager, and they poke the thing with a broomstick.
Oh, yeah.
And it, like, dissolves and screams or something.
So what did it dissolve right then and there? Like,
I don't know why it waited so long to dissolve. I've been thinking about that.
Is it like bad sushi? Like you only wait a couple hours and it's like bad?
And it dissolves?
It just dissolves. You're just like, wow.
Into a black goo?
Yeah, and you're just like, okay.
Like, oh, this sushi's... I'm sorry, waiter, my sushi's dissolved.
It turned to soy sauce.
Oh, yeah. So so that happens, and then Marcia Gay Harden.
No, that's her. Yeah, the evil
I
one.
think that's her name, her full name. She starts a whole thing. She's like, "This is Jesus and God, and everyone hates us now because you use profanity, and you're all sinners, but we can. It's His will and whatever." And then the little flying bugs start attacking. They don't mean to. I mean,
the mosquito wasp or whatever.
Oversized
the
moths.
The giant mosquito wasp bees. They break in, and then they only break in because it's the weird pterodactyl things.
Yeah, with 4 wings.
Yeah, with 4 wings for no reason. They break through the glass, or they hit it hard enough to where there's like a solid, just like a perfect circle going through. And Magdalena's starts playing because it was a perfect circle.
And then out of the mist comes Maynard.
Yeah. Mayonnaise, you're...
Yeah, while selling wine at the same time.
He's got like a milk crate full of wine. He's walking around.
Well, he's part of the mist. He's part of that world.
Oh, he came out of that dimension.
Yeah, that's why he's so weird. He never really shows up like in any of his things.
Oh yeah, he doesn't want anybody to look at him.
I mean, if you ever look at his
like
tattoo on
the guy from the Monkeys.
Yeah, exactly.
The Monkeys. It's not the Monkeys. It's the Gorillas.
Well, because I mean, if you're David Albarn, you're just gonna hurt yourself on stage.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever seen like their live concerts? Like, he always like falls on accident or something. Like, he's accident prone. Like, his pants got too short because he's like listening to hip hop now, and he just like falls over because he's like, I'm a chav.
It's really clumsy.
He's just really clumsy.
It's like Dick Van Dyke in the opening credits.
Exactly.
And anyway, so the bugs start coming in, and they hit him with bats and brooms, and old lady. Some guy sets himself on fire for some reason. How did he set himself on fire?
He clumsily fell into the mop.
He
water.
Tripped over the mop.
What's in that
buckets.
Mop water?
I don't know. It's whatever.
Bleach.
Flammable bleach.
Flammable water?
I don't know.
It's Oregon, man. Nothing makes sense. You can't even put gas in your own car there.
The gas is water, and the water is gas. So yeah, like guy sets himself on fire. He has horrible burns. They kill all the bugs. They kill the pterodactyl things, and then they're like, "We got to go to the pharmacy next door. Who wants to go?" And all the soldiers are gone, except for one.
But
they're alive, but they're not in the scene.
So was it before, like, when the lawyer takes off and the biker goes with him?
Mm-mm.
No?
I think this was after.
Yeah.
Because this was pretty early, right? Like,
because I think the pharmacy happened afterwards.
There's nothing in that mist. I'm just going to go to my car.
Yeah.
Who's with me? And the biker's like, well, I'm going to go out and get the shotgun from this guy's car.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, you got
balls.
Balls. You got some balls on you, don't you? He's like, yeah, because I'm a male,
I'm a tall,
mature man.
That's a biker also. That's like twice the size of normal people here, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
He was like a giant.
So it must hurt him to sit on that seat.
It's the Iron Styling, man. It's cool. Get a ride.
But so they go out to do the thing. He's like, I'll tie this rope around me. It's got me 300 feet. I'll see how far I can go. Immediately, everyone's attacked. We can assume that asshole Andre Brower is killed. It's another form. It's like a subset of a subset of people because he's like got all of, like, I guess the practical minded people or the logical. They're the logical people,
right? They just look at it, everything like what makes sense logically. Like he's like, there's no such thing as a monster. Blah blah blah. Like to him, it was just logic. That's why he was.
Yeah, because he believes that there's nothing in mist.
Yeah, he thinks like for whatever reason, people are trying to make. He's such an egotist.
Yes.
That he thinks everyone's trying to make him look stupid.
It's
like
even though the only person that has a grudge against him is Thomas Jane.
He was trying to be a good guy.
Well, who was it that the guy in the store that he confronted? One of the manager or one of the guys. He's like, I know you've been talking behind my back. You remember? So
yeah, right when they came back from the back side.
Right. So he already has that fear of not trusting them because he's like, well, he's been talking about behind my back. I don't like, they're not gonna see me in a good light, or they're just gonna make fun of me or whatever.
Yeah, because he's an out of towner.
He's like, he has a house there, but he's mostly working in New York.
Exactly. He's like, I pay my taxes here. And you're like, what? I mean, like, they even offered him, like, fried chicken on the grill, and he just still left.
That's racist, too.
They said it in the movie. I just reiterated it.
And Justin's going to edit this, by the way, since he's... Yeah.
We can't help it. Yeah, he did leave before that, because then they dragged the bottom half of the biker's body.
Back and I'm like, the door.
Why would you keep dragging it when it's covered in blood?
Well,
they have to see.
I think they just want to see what the damage is. Like, they're like, well, let's just see how bad this monster F's you up.
Yeah, it's like
it was pretty bad.
They're like, okay, so if we go up there, what limbs will we be missing? And then they're like, oh, crap, never mind, this is worse than we thought. So he was a guinea pig,
Pretty much. I mean,
true.
He's like a car crash where people slow down and rubberneck.
Mm.
And then, like, that hick, like, who was helping
they rub whose neck?
Yeah. Like, in that hick that was pulling back the rope with him, he, like, put the blood on his face, remember?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, that's gross.
That guy, yeah.
What was his name? I'm gonna look it up right now.
It's something Wilson.
Yeah, like
Slade Wilson.
William Sadler.
William Sadler.
Like, yeah, the biggest wimp in hillbilly country. You know what I'm talking about now?
Yeah, I know who he is.
Okay.
He played the president in Iron Man 3.
What?
And he did a bunch of other random stuff before. But, so, that happens, and then they go to the pharmacy, and there's all those spidery things that kill, like, 3 people.
Yes.
And for some reason, they brought old lady with them.
Well, she was a voice of reason, right, Justin?
She was helpful.
To me, she was the voice of reason. Like, she has the wisdom to tell people what's up.
Yeah. I mean, she lived. So, I mean, until, Tom Jane shot her. But, they get, like, all the medicine they need for the burn guy. And they go back, and they're like, oh, yeah, he died. It's like, oh, well, 2 people died trying to get this shit.
Yeah, and
nobody really cares.
Well, the guy that was burning, he needed the antibiotics, which was the brother that went to get it.
He looked pretty bad.
Well, what made me mad was that why did the religious lady have to predict that the next guy that was gonna die, and it just made it further proof for the other people that were like brainwashed, like, oh, she was right again, she must be, you know what I mean? So then that made the crowd follow her more, and I was like, well, I guess she just maybe saw that guy as like a weakling, like, oh, he's gonna be next. But I hate that she just even said that. Oh, he's gonna be next, and then everyone's like, oh, that bothered me. Anyways, edit that out.
No.
And then you forgot to talk about that teacher that took her own life too. The one that was watching the
Oh,
son.
the one that she was watching the little boy.
Yeah.
And she overdosed on purpose.
On purpose.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that
I probably would have too.
Take the easy way out.
Yeah.
There's no easy way out.
Give me the spiders.
I don't know those burning. Was it threads that they spit or put out?
Oh yeah, they're like acidic or something.
Yeah.
And they spit them out, and well, they don't actually show where they come from, so it could be from their ass.
That's true.
Well,
there's like shitting webs.
I mean, these are like parallel creatures to our world, I guess, right?
True. Yeah.
I mean, that was the whole.
Except for the one at the end.
Oh yeah, the big monster.
What did the military guys know that was the secret that they said, I'm sorry, like we messed up? What was
the guy
yeah,
they do reveal towards the end, it's like brief. And they're like they were working on some kind of interdimensional
like collider or something, right?
Yeah, like something, and they brought stuff through that they couldn't send back, and it just kind of like tore like a dimensional hole, and all these things were coming through our world.
I see.
Which I'm glad they didn't harp on too much.
No. I think it's one of those things where, like, Stephen King put in his book was, like, he's an avid fan of the whole H.P. Lovecraft thing.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking about. The first time I saw it, yes. Yeah.
Exactly.
And every time I've seen it, like, I'm like, this is... Like, even the thing at the end looks like a Cthulhu type of...
monster, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a Cthulhu.
Cthulhu?
You can call him that. Sounds like a hot sauce.
Cholo?
Cholula.
Now he just needs a bandana and some Dickies.
But it's gotta be the right color. But yeah,
But yeah, I mean, like, Stephen King has always said that, like, he looked up to Lovecraft for a lot of inspiration for horror. And, like, you can really do see it in The Mist. I mean, there's, like, this idea of, like, parallel dimensions and creatures that we don't understand. And people kind of going insane.
If you see them, you go insane.
Yeah, and I think that's where that crazy woman really takes into power. Like, she kind of leads her own cult.
Mm-hmm.
Not working with the beings, but working for her own personal reasons.
Yeah.
Until Toby Jones knocks her down a peg or two.
Arnim Zola.
Okay, Arnim Zola. MODOK Future.
Future MODOK.
Future MODOK, man.
Arnim Zola, played by Toby Jones.
Well, at least he doesn't have to work for Red Skull anymore.
Well, he may if Red Skull comes back.
If he comes back.
Well, he's just like, I mean, if he had enough, like, vacation leave.
He's like, I think I sent enough people to the Soul Stone.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
I'm good.
I could just use the Time Stone.
I'm going to use the Time Stone and just go back home and, maybe mess with Steve Rogers. Oh, Steve Rogers is old now?
He's an old man. What do we do with this?
What do I do? I have no purpose. I can't make the Fourth Reich now. I'm not even played by the original actor.
No.
Mr. Smith. That New Zealander.
Yeah. I didn't want to be the Red Skull for the rest of my life. That's a Cockney accent. But,
Yeah, you always have to think of like Fush and Chups. That's a
Fish and chips.
That's a New Zealand thing.
Ah.
LMP. Think of
Oh.
Kitty Watiki.
Is it?
Sweet as. I don't know what that means. Still, I'm just like sweet as what? That's sweet as.
Sweet.
No, it's just sweet ass.
That's it. There's no thing after it. They're like,
Sweet.
that's sweet as. I'm like, okay.
Or whatever.
So I think best way is like sweet as sweet tea.
Sure.
Sweet as sweet ass.
Sweet as a sweet ass. Oh, an L and P.
The fuck is that?
You guys lost me.
It's lemon pure.
I know. I'm sorry.
We're going off track, but it's fun.
Anyway,
Edit.
edit 7 minutes. Yeah. So then they Red Skull has Black Widow jump off the thing, and no, I'm just kidding. So they.
That was Hawkeye that did that.
Well, it was Red Skull enticed both of them, and then the mist came and a spider ate his face.
Yeah.
That's canon. But so they what happened? So I don't even know where we are now.
So
We're
they
talking about the
went
spiders.
to the pharmacy and
They go to the pharmacy.
they have all these people cocooned into their webs hanging. And that's
very alien-y.
Yes. And that's when we see more of these weird critter things that are like kind of like spiders. And that military
Oh, when
guy.
the guy's like infected with a bunch of them.
Right.
Yeah, the military police.
He says, "I'm sorry.
It's our fault."
Yes. And I guess that's where you kind of see how many of these different forms of these are there out there, and of course that guy dies, and I was mad because I didn't want the religious lady to be right, but she was, and he died.
She was, yeah.
That pissed me off.
Oh, and it was just like one of those general things where it was like an open question. Someone's gonna die tonight, and they didn't really
anybody. Actually, 3 people died.
Exactly.
At least.
There was the suicide. There was the
2 guys at the pharmacy.
Yes.
And then the 1 guy at the pharmacy that was cocooned.
Yes.
Also, that girl that guy waited years after high school to finally say, like, oh yeah, I always liked you. And
I thought, the first time I saw it, I thought there was going to be a sex scene. I was like, I don't need there to be a sex scene
like it's
in this movie.
Right.
Like, I couldn't get it up with all this shit happening.
Exactly. I think more about survival than... Yeah.
Well, it's...
Yeah, it's...
Never mind. Wrong topic.
What?
Never mind. Well, I'm just saying, like, survival, yes, but I'm like, at the same time, it's like, maybe he did want to relieve some stress or something. Shit, I mean, they're all dying. We're gonna die.
It's true.
But anyways, that's right. It wouldn't have been relevant. It would have just been like a sex scene. It wouldn't make sense.
Gratuitous sex scene.
Like a slasher movie.
Yeah.
Right. But, and then, that bug moth thing bit that girl's neck and her
and she died, like, I guess her trachea, like, swelled up and she couldn't breathe. So, maybe she had, like, didn't they have a pharmacy? Oh, no, they didn't get EpiPens.
No.
Shoot. I think she would have been okay.
I don't know, that's like some alien allergy kind of thing. I mean, maybe if they just gave her like one of those pen shots, it would have been worse.
It just makes it worse. her neck is bigger than anything else on her body.
Hey, it's better than those eyebrows that her
boyfriend
boyfriend
had. Her whole head
had.
just blows up and floats away.
I think that was Sam Witwer, wasn't it?
I think so.
The guy that does the voice of the Emperor on all the animated Star Wars.
Really?
I think that was Sam Witwer. I'm not sure.
The guy with the nice eyebrows?
Yeah, that is
the guy with.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry, I couldn't help but point out that his eyebrows were a little too well done. I'm just. Seemed like
no, he gets them strung like every. Is that what you call them? Threaded or strung? Threaded.
Or something.
Yeah.
Threaded.
I think it's threaded.
Yeah, he has those fierce eyebrow.
Brow.
Eyebrow.
Eyebrow look.
Yeah. I mean, they could block out the sun.
That was cheesy.
Oh, he's got a big brow.
What was that? He's got a big what?
Brow.
He has that blue steel look, you know?
Yeah. Zoolander.
Platinum.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Okay.
Anyways. Yeah, but Frances Hagen was the voice of reason. The real voice of reason there.
Who's that?
She was the old lady.
Oh, the lady, yeah.
Yeah, with the cat glasses. Cat eye glasses.
Yeah, I thought she was going to die first, but she didn't.
But she was tougher than nails.
She's pretty tough, man. God rest her soul.
Well, she's going to go to heaven. It's Thomas Jane that's going to go to hell.
Not according to Marcia Gay Harden.
Oh, that's right. Because it's all Old Testament with her.
Yeah.
And,
Tom Jane isn't going to heaven either. He's a murderer. Can't do anything right with Marcia Gay Harden.
Oh my gosh, I have so much to say about the ending, but I'll save it till the end. I mean, till you get to that part.
We're almost there.
Okay.
What about Laurie Holden now? We didn't talk about her.
Oh gosh.
Jeanette said that she was like the homebreaker.
In 2 hours of that movie, she did a better acting job than her, I don't know, 50 hours of The Walking Dead.
Oh, I've never seen Walking Dead, so I don't have comparison for what you're talking about.
She wasn't bad, but she wasn't good either. She was writing that line where she was overacting.
Mm.
And it was really distracting for me personally that she was trying really hard to act. But I liked her in this movie.
I felt a little confused in the beginning because I was like, what is her backstory? What is her connection?
They didn't explain anything. It was very gradual.
Very weird because I think I saw her when they're waiting in line to check out the groceries, the dad and the son, and she looks over and smiles at him, and I'm like, okay.
And she kind of flirts with him.
Right, and I was like, okay, is she like the Sancha? Is she the... How does she know him? It just threw me off a little, and I felt like she went very comfortably to his son right away, and I think Justin was saying she was a teacher, so then I was like, okay, is she the teacher of the kid, of his son? That was the only thing I could... Because she just seemed like she wanted to be very maternal right away.
That was her name.
And,
and all she said, when somebody asked her, do you have kids? She's like, things haven't really been working out. Mm-hmm. Which implies either she's very distant with her husband or she can't have kids.
But before that, when they mentioned the gun, that she said she had learned how to shoot the gun, she had mentioned something briefly, and it led me to believe that maybe she was going through a separation or something was...
Or she killed her husband.
Hey, you never know. She could be that...
She wasn't wearing a wedding ring.
Like that lady from Tiger King.
Yes.
She could have...
Carol Baskin.
She could have been Carol Baskin.
Oh, God. Yeah, Tiger King.
But, no, so it was kind of weird, and it kept me questioning, what is her motive of really wanting to help out this kid? Is it just really because she couldn't have a kid, and she just had that maternal instinct she was so desperate to have? I don't know, it was weird. I shouldn't talk about it. I don't have kids. Okay, never mind.
I don't have kids either. I don't give a shit.
Well, you guys are guys, so that doesn't count. Never mind. You guys, I'm talking about female maternal instincts. I don't know.
I have maternal instincts. Like if I see a pregnant cat, I just kind of cut the fetuses out of it and I let it go.
Gross. But anyway, so yeah, I just felt like her character was a little confusing in the beginning because I just didn't know why she smiled at that guy in a flirtatious way, and then it almost seems
destined that they were to be together.
Right, and then they go visit his home, and he's like, oh, well, oh yeah, we're not there yet, but basically...
Wifey's dead.
Wifey's dead, so she's holding his child like a mom.
Is his wife dead? Oh, you mean when they drive by it later?
Yeah, we're not there yet, I know.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. But she did look sad.
For what?
For 2 seconds. Ha ha ha. Just kidding.
She's like, yeah, I got this guy.
No.
Until he shoots me in the head.
It's like a lot of murder stories, Al, if you think about it.
Yeah, it's like 50 murder stories.
They use the Sancha to, further plot, and then the wife's dead, and then who's next? The Sancha. Anyway.
It's like a buffet, like what's next here?
Right.
Do I go for the more fries, or do I get some onion rings?
Man, go for the crab legs.
Mashed potatoes? Oh, crab legs, yeah.
Get the expensive stuff.
Mashed potatoes dipped in...
Potatoes are cheap.
I know, potatoes are cheap. Unless you're Irish.
Makes no
True.
sense.
Yeah. Potato famine.
The potato famine.
Potato
That was a horrible thing.
Some taters.
Some taters.
Just wanted my potatoes.
Okay, so where are we in the story? We're
at where...
So they went to the pharmacy, they came back.
Yeah.
Okay.
They came back, horrible spiders.
Right. That's where, shit gets loose completely.
Yeah.
Completely, the division is...
She's already...
Completely...
Marcia Gay Harden is... Yeah, she's taken over most of the people there.
Yeah, she's like the evil piggy from, what's that, Lord of the Flies. That book.
Aw, but she doesn't get crushed by a rock.
She gets crushed by another piece of metal, or an earth element.
It's a smaller metal. She shot twice.
Actually, that was a pretty sweet shot. I have to admit, it
it's a good shot.
Good that it was so spontaneous, and it was. I think everyone was thinking that as a viewer, you just wanted that lady to shut up, and so that guy.
No, she wouldn't shut up.
Does it?
Yeah.
Bam.
And even he felt bad about doing it.
Yeah, he was like, I killed her. And he's like, and Thomas Jane was like, yeah, that's why I said thank you.
Exactly.
Because she was going to kill his kid.
Exactly. And the whore.
And so the whole thing was justified. It's fine.
Yeah.
But I just like that shot in the film. I thought it was pretty sweet.
The shot or the shot?
Both. The shot of the shot.
With the milk, the holding of the milk, and she gets shot through that glass milk jar she was drinking out of.
I just like that it went straight for the forehead.
She got shot
that's
twice.
That's what pissed me pissed me off more than anything.
They wasted 2 shots.
Was that she's stealing groceries now, and she's drinking a milk?
Yeah.
And I'm like, so are you.
Exactly.
Everyone is, because you need to live.
It's because you're leaving the village, man.
I thought you were going to say, it made me mad that they wasted 2 bullets on her. They could have just done it with 1. But anyway.
You're completely right.
Could have just straight for the head.
Just one or 2 shots or 3 shots or 4 shots.
Wasted
just to the head.
Second bullet. Could have used it further.
They could have shot her directly in the forehead.
That extra bullet they wasted on her would have been the main character's bullet for himself. We're not there yet, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
But yeah, I thought it was stupid how people were like crying after she was dead. Because I'm like, look what she's caused.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was only how long? Like they were there
Just
for
a couple of days.
So she caused division and, hate,
anger, upset,
turmoil,
control,
discrimination.
Fear.
Discrimination.
She caused more fear and chaos instead of, working together for a plan. It was just division.
Yeah, there was no community anymore. Which
there was a community, but they weren't communing.
Divided. Community.
Yeah, and the rational thinkers are the ones that try to escape.
more.
Yeah.
The people that weren't all about like, let's kill somebody in order to get out of here.
Isn't it?
Or to get rid of that line of thought.
Oh.
How the 3 groups, you said there was 3 groups, and you have to also point out the order in which they went. So the first ones were the lawyer with the logical
people.
They were the first ones to go because they were just
because then they all just left.
Right, because they were like, we're just test
our
theory.
At that moment, the logic is out the window.
Right, and then
even though if they had all worked together,
which is logical,
for them to just all like, let's all talk about this and see what we can do. Like the practical guys were stuck there. The guys that were doing the repairs on the
maintenance guys.
So like the blue collar guys.
Blue collar, yeah.
The blue collar guys, yes. And that includes Thomas Jane. I feel like he was a bit of all. Well, at least 2 of them.
2 of them, definitely.
He wasn't like religious, but
I think
he was a good leader. But everyone saw him as like some kind of a painter pussy.
Yeah, but I think that's where I think he took the lead because like being an artist and he's already painting like Stephen King's books in the background or the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Like he has this idea of insanity already, and so he's not shocked by it as much as the other people.
Yeah.
And so he can like actually go back into himself and be a human being and be like, nope, you got to do this. And yeah, that's why he was just a natural leader, and that's why Toby Jones was drinking and told his boss to shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Because the boss even was like, what? Like, you need to, go clean up aisle 7.
Right.
And it's like, what the...
He's threatening...
Did you see what happened?
His job. He's like, didn't he say you're gonna... not fired, but something along those lines, like reprimanded or like he's still on the clock. But I mean, at that point, it's a whole other situation, and
yeah, he's like, you're drinking a beer. I'm writing you down.
Yeah, he's like, you're drinking alcohol on the job.
It's so irrelevant.
I'm gonna have to let HR know about this. And it's
at that point,
dude, he had 2 sips of beer.
What's gonna happen?
I mean, the whole store is like completely messed up, and he's gonna worry about, spilt beer or whatever.
There's monsters outside.
Spilt beer, spilt milk.
Oh no, we can't drink alcohol.
I know, that's a big.
And it's not even like at that point they hadn't even established that Toby Jones. I'm sorry, Arnim Zola. They didn't establish that he could hold a gun straight. And he was like first in he competed and he was first in the state.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I don't know about this. You're drinking alcohol. It's like, it's not alcohol. It's beer.
Right.
It's just fucking Miller Lite.
I know it'll take like 10 of them for him to feel anything.
It took like 3 or 4 of them. I mean, to just be incapacitated. That pissed me off.
Yeah.
Hey, who else? Stupid idiot. The guy, the hick guy with the trucker's hat. He was getting drunk left and right. Like, I saw him at least like 3 times holding a beer.
Which one?
And it's like, Well, don't let that guy anywhere near
A gun?
a gun or anything that could be a weapon. Because he's going to beat the shit out of somebody.
Was it Myron?
I think it was Myron, yeah.
Yeah, because that guy was drinking a lot, but he was actually more of the rational ones. Remember, he split off from his buddy. Of course, he got his ass ate by a spider.
Yeah.
But then so did poor Toby. MODOK. I mean, Truman Capote.
Yes.
Yeah, he got sliced in half by the praying mantis monster.
Oh yeah, they don't show it at least, but then the gun conveniently lands, unless he did it intentionally.
I think it was intentionally. Like he used his psychic powers at the end with that massive head of his.
Oh yeah, because he's MODOK.
Yeah, exactly. But
so he had it he kind of floated it down to the hood car. Of the whatever, the Forerunner or whatever.
Yeah, Land Rover.
Land Rover, yeah.
And it was just
so okay. So the first group went quickly, then group number 2, then 3. I guess that's where after the pharmacy thing, that's when they really split up. Where they're like, okay, well, we're gonna leave this building. And the ones that stayed behind were the ones, brainwashed by that lady. So, yeah. I guess after that... Oh, yeah, but then more people died in the parking lot.
That's right.
In the process of them splitting up, more people... Well, besides the religious lady that gets shot.
And, yeah.
And then, was it the guy that shoots her? Well, the guy you guys... Toby.
MODOK.
He gets killed right away, soon after that. And then that other guy... I don't know who that other guy is. He gets trampled by spiders.
The old guy.
That's right, yeah.
The old guy.
Yeah, the one who's like, I have a shotgun in my truck.
Right.
But I'm also a rational human being.
And then the store manager ends up back in the store.
Fucking pussy.
Yeah. But he got stuck with all those religious people, so were they going to sacrifice him next? I mean, it was kind of left open question when after the leadership of those psycho-religious people got murdered.
I think they were going to be fine.
You think so?
Well,
I think so. I don't think anything else was going to... If the military was already headed towards them, I don't think anything was going to happen to them.
Yeah, but that was almost like a day, because the old people in the...
It was about a day, yeah, but...
They drove with the gas running. And when you think about it, I mean, even the old dude and the old lady both fell asleep in the back of the car.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, oh, it's morning? And they're like, well, it's still misty outside.
So I was just curious how far outside did they get outside of the town?
Mm-hmm.
Or how much...
They got to his... Tom Jane's house.
They got there, and they discovered his...
They went a little further.
Yeah, they're like, we'll see how far the gas goes. And they kept on driving. Which also weirded me out was, he had those bright lights. Why didn't it attract any other monsters towards him?
I was thinking the same thing. I don't know.
Aside from the big tentacle monster, Cloverfield-looking thing.
Yeah, and I couldn't help but get reminded of when they all load up in the car and drive off. It just gave me that feeling of watching Jurassic Park, and then you see the big giant monster walking past them, and it just, I don't know, that part reminded me of Jurassic Park.
I didn't care.
Well, whatever.
It's like...
Maybe it was full.
Huh?
I said maybe it was full.
Maybe it was full, right? Yeah. It had enough of, Shermanators.
I guess that was a big mama monster, or what? the queen, the king of all the
Monster.
monster.
I don't know. Maybe it's Chlorophyll's mate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, tentacles, little creatures, whatever.
So
awkward knees.
they keep driving until they run out of gas.
Yeah, they run out of gas, and they all look at each other,
And
Dale gives him the look, like he just kind of nods at him.
Right, we're screwed look.
Yeah, we're screwed. Just kill us. And Laurie Holden is like, there's only 4 bullets left.
Mm-hmm.
There's 5 of us.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, well, I'm going to kill all of you anyway.
I'm going to make you ease from suffering.
I would have... I don't know. I think I would have still...
Kept going?
Yeah, I would have just waited. I don't know. Just see what happens. You never know. And I do like how after they, establish that there's only 4 bullets, that this next scene goes straight to just the 4 shots, but you don't really see until that guy is screaming. I shouldn't say that guy. Thomas Jane.
Thomas Jane.
Sorry.
Oh, Thomas Jane.
The Punisher.
But I do like how they made that scene where you don't see, it's not revealed right away, but you hear
what happened.
Right. And I was like, I was almost, when I saw it, I kind of guessing what was going to happen, and it made me really upset, but I guess it could have been different endings. I don't know. I just felt that the ending was like a big ha-ha, like the kid from Nelson from The Simpsons, it was just like a big ha-ha moment. And I'm like, really? And I also feel that he tried his best to balance everything out, but patience. If he would have just been patient, if they would have just waited a little bit longer, maybe. Like, you don't always need a solution to every predicament. Sometimes it's just being patient.
Yeah.
And that was a hard lesson he had to learn.
I think by the time they reached that point, though, they hadn't seen any military anywhere. So they were just like, well, everything's fucked.
I mean, it kind of gave that impression when those military guys killed themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Like
they hanged themselves.
And if they know they're going to die, then I guess that there's nothing worth to live for.
Except for that one guy that didn't kill himself, but he ended up getting stabbed anyways.
Yeah, by the praying mantis.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
But...
Oh yeah, by the butcher guy.
Right, but so it wasn't a completely hopeless thing. But that's all perspective, of course.
Very subtle, by the way, that it was a butcher.
Ha. True. But yeah, the end, I was like, oh, all stars and whatever, rainbow sunshine now, like big tanks to approach soon after. I'm like, really? And then I found it funny that they show that lady from the very beginning.
Oh, yeah.
That had escaped by herself, and she had yelled at them, telling them, will someone go with me? I want to get to my son. And she yells at them, I forgot what, coward or something like that. But then they show her face at the end, like, oh, like, she made it. So it just makes you question everything. Who was really right? Who had the right idea,
Yeah, because in the book, there is, like, no hope at the end. Like, there was no military. They just kept on driving, right? Cause,
I don't know.
Oh, it was in a graveyard shift.
You could be lying, and I wouldn't know.
Well, the book is old as me, or the novella is. Which I always find fascinating. I mean, like, I've only read several stories from Stephen King, and I thought this was one of his stronger books, or works of literature. Or what do you think? Have you read any of his other things that you can compare this to, or?
I've read Misery.
I never read that one. Saw the movie.
Same idea. Someone isolated and kept, for one reason or another, just kind of kept away from civilization so they can do whatever their kidnapper wanted.
Yeah.
I
guess that's the idea of, like, having media freedom.
Yeah.
And maybe the ending of The Mist was more poignant to some people compared to the novella, which, like I said, he just keeps driving and driving and driving.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. And in a hope of finding something. That's just how it ends. He just keeps driving.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
With him and the three other, just by himself?
By himself, with the mist all.
So that's after having killed him?
Yeah.
Oh. So in the movie, they just wanted to do the big middle finger.
Yeah, they're pretty much like, oh, humanity is saved. Because, I mean, like, that is, I guess, the ultimate goal to make people happy is, like, is humanity really saved, or are we completely fucked with the monsters?
Which the monsters can be
anything.
Metaphors for a lot of things, especially for the times now.
People without masks, spitting in your food.
Well,
I don't know. Than that. Thank goodness we don't go out.
We kind of.
So
I don't know. Would you guys recommend The Mist?
I do. I mean, I have it on cassette too. Cassette tapes.
What's a cassette tape?
Like
a Walkman from the 80s.
Audio? You have the audio book?
Yeah, I have the audio book on cassette tape.
I liked it. At first I felt a little frustrated because I was being impatient and I just wanted to know what those things were, and I wanted to know all the details and more of like where they came from and how many of them are there. Is it the whole world? Is it just a town? Is it just a city? And then seeing all these division amongst the groups was kind of I don't know, like a commentary on how people really can be in real life, and it was just a reflection of that. And I don't know, there's a lot of things going on, but it does kind of get you hooked in, where you're trying to figure out the psychology of these characters. Like, well, what are they going to do? What would you do in that situation? What sacrifices would you make? So it makes you really think about all those things, and I enjoyed that part of it. And the ending just had to end that way. And in my head, I was already predicting what the ending was, but in a more of a humorous, more humorous way. But it really did end like that, and it bothered me, and it didn't. I don't know. It was just, like I said, it was just like that frustration of that guy screaming. That's how I felt.
I think Thomas Jane did do good at screaming in anguish.
But I like the point that you made, it that they had to show that humanity was saved.
Yeah. I think that's where the movie failed me. It was like, I mean, it was poignant, but then you're like, well, why can't we just be damned for all time? Which I think any sentient being should have that concept, instead of being like, oh, here's some roses. I know you killed your family, but we're sorry.
I felt that ending is possibly just as depressing, if not more, because now this man's going to live with that regret and he's probably gonna try to kill himself or tell them to shoot him or something. So he just shot his son and 3 other people. So,
or he could go on and be a storyteller and tell.
Oh yeah, like Jim Henson's storyteller.
Yes, exactly.
I think it would have been cool if it just ended like how you said, like the book just keeps striving and it leaves it open to
other possibilities.
Which this ending, the one, it just, I don't know. Like, it just makes you wonder, and what now? So they've shut all these things, but how many people are left, and how are they even going to rebuild the community? And it just sounds either way depressing, but it was...
Maybe it was a military coup. You know what I mean? Like, you know, they released
probably was.
And they're like, oh, the military's going to save you. And that's why those guys hung themselves, because they're like, oh, we're stuck with normal civilians. They're going to murder us, because they'll realize that we're actually taking over the country through a military coup. Like, you know, what most people do in South America, in Central America. Anywhere that's Banana Republic, that is helped by the United States. Just saying.
Yeah,
Did you just burp?
I just laughed.
I enjoyed the movie. I did. There were some parts that maybe made me a little frustrated, like it was lagging, and but that's part of the movie, so it was good.
Yeah, part of the movie is you get so frustrated you want to stop watching it.
Well, I mean, I didn't, like, I wanted to know what the heck was going to happen. So I did. I mean, at some point I did maybe, like, not want to watch it, and then something hooked me in where I'm like, okay, where is this going to go? I need to know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, you have to finish a book to its end unless it's really bad. But
or it's so bad that
you have to finish it.
And make fun of it till the end.
I know.
Hopefully I can bring Jonathan in on that one.
But you said he was in Oblivion. Oh, in Purgatory, sorry.
Oh, I can bring him back, though. I put him there.
Why would you put him there?
I mean, it's not bad. Just nothing happens, really.
Oh, okay. You put him like in a bookcase or bookshelf, and you're like, all right, I need to use you.
Put him in a lazy boy and just sit down, man. Like, see what happens.